This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hi, welcome to Clarence Gems again for the mighty Miniature Market. What are we looking at today? Well, if you're not a miniature person but kind of like to have miniature games and you don't want to spend that time painting and you just want to get things to the table and just play without too much fanfare and all that other guss. Well, there's a game out there in the clearance section that I think you'll really enjoy. It's called Warhammer Diskwars, and its IP is obviously Warhammer Fantasy. Now we know all the changes with Warhammer Fantasy. Does this replace it? Does it give you something of it? Is it enjoyable? After all, it is Diskwars, and some people like it and some people don't. It's always had a really rocky history. There's only one way to find out. Let's go down to the table and take a look. Now, Diskwars comes with a very good and detailed rule book. It's very well put together. Of course, it's done by Fantasy Flight, so what do you expect? They do a really nice job with this. It's basically playing miniatures without having to put out all the miniatures and the terrain and stuff like that. Everything, your movement is pretty much decided on the left hand of the disc. So you can move 4 times. By doing that, you would flip over 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems pretty easy, right? No rulers, no nothing. The only thing you need a ruler for is if you have range. And if you have range, you will roll dice. And depending on what you get, if you get this, you would actually hit and cause a wound to the person, and you would actually put a wound on them. Now, melee combat, which is the real essence of this game, flipping over, okay, and if he flipped over onto him, here, as you can see, the left number here, which is 2, he would do 2 damage to our swordsman. He has a toughness of 4, so he would, of course, just take 2 of these damage tokens. But the swordsmen get a retaliation, so they would do 3. So in essence, a retaliation with 3 with a toughness of 4, they would get 3. So obviously they would get the better of it. So they would both be engaged, and they would fight again on another turn, unless there was some kind of ability or something that the other disc had a chance to disengage. You have tons and tons of different types of tokens and all kinds of really cool figures. Like here you have a steam tank, you have and it's very thematic with using the Warhammer universe. In the box you get plague or chaos, as they say. As you can see, we have some chaos stuff right here, and you get the Empire. As you can see, we have a Hell Blaster volley gun, which is big and nasty. And of course, if you're the Empire, you want a nice Sun Dragon on your side. There are a couple of commanders. It comes with terrain and just plenty and tons of discs if you look inside the box. There's also these cards that play and give different abilities, as well as determine who moves and how and so forth and so on. Like I said, we weren't going to go over every rule. There's a couple expansions out for it that you can also get at Miniature Market, where you have the undead and the dwarves, and they add a lot more, and you can build up your armies and really take this and have some fun. Of course, as you can see, with the bigger things, which are slower, they just move 1, but if they land on things, they really land on things. I really like this. I think it's very good, but let's go up top and get my final thoughts on Warhammer Diskwars. For me, I enjoyed playing this. I thought it was fun. It'll never even come close to replacing or even touch the miniature game, which I love. I really love. And I do like Age of Sigmar to a degree. This, with the flipping and stuff like that, instead of using a ruler, you actually use the the disc, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. And there's not a lot to it. There's no luck in the dice throwing because there is no dice. I think this is a good game. It's a good, solid game, and for being in the clearance section at the price it is, it's good filler in between things, or something that you could play quick with your kids, or maybe even introduce them into the world of miniatures by using this kind of disc mechanic. I really don't think this is a really bad game. For me, it's good, but it's not great. It's not something the world's gonna cave in and I say I have to have this. But I think with this and the expansions, they kind of fall together, and it's just something really, really good. I think it's a fun game that's an in-between game that kind of bridges that gap a little bit. So I'm gonna suggest this. I like this, and if you have a chance, pick it up in the clearance section. I'm gonna give this 3 stars out of 5. Again, I'm a big miniature player, so playing Diskwars is good, but it's not great. Well, that's it for this week. Until next time, I'm Rob Warren, and we will see you soon. Sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, videos, and written reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, online gaming superstore, thousands of games and minis, discount prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.